Yo, what's up guys? You got PokeaimMD here with my round 2 battle of the official Smogon Tour OST. This time I'm narrating my games versus Shoka. Now if you guys don't like this type of narration where I just go through the turns and talk about my thought process and my opponents, you can just check out the replays down below. Don't worry, there'll be another video up today or maybe another 2 videos up today depending on time. But yeah, so Shoka, I actually know his team. It's Zard Y, Spikes Pharaoh, Battlebond Gren, the Heatran I believe is Rocks, or Lando's Rocks. I know the Lando's Z Fly, and I don't know the Tapu Fini. That's about it though. I think the Tapu Fini is just default. But my squad, shout out to Meat Grinder. I only made a few changes to it. I made the glide score a little bit faster, and I made the Toxic Specs a little bit more spadef. But that's about it because I had a lot of speed on the Toxic Specs, but I was like, who cares? If I haze Reuniclus, I can stall it with Kyurem. I can sub-stall it with Kyurem, and Gliscor also threatens it a little bit too, and Combine Lottie can PP stall it as well. But yeah, looking at the matchup, Pex is really nice for Zard as well as Gren. I think Gliscor is also really solid with SD Roost. Deals with Heatran, can break through Ferrothorn, can break through Fini, can break through Lando if I bait the Z move as well. And yeah, let's just get right into it. So I opt to lead off with my Toxapex because just versus his team, it just matches up well immediately. He leads off with Tapu Fini. Now, he switches out directly out to Heatran as I'm going to go for my Spike. I didn't really have a switch in anyway, so Spike was just my best play. Toxic Spike, rather. He could have Moonblasted or Nature's Madness or taunted me, but I didn't really care. I'd rather just get up T-Spike as he brings out that Heatran. Because I know it's Z-Fly Landorus, I know that my Gliscor is incredibly free here, unless he like Will-O-Wisp or anything. But ends up going for the Magma Storm. Again, because I know it's not Z Heatran, I'm going to go for the Roost here as he ends up bringing out his Landorus. Now, I opt to go for the SD because this thing can actually break through his team right now if I get this right, as he goes for the Swords Dance himself. So he's Jolly, which is good, smart, because he outspeeds my Gliscor, and at this point I kind of have to sack something to the Z move, which I was prepared to do. Now, the other play I could have made was gone hard into Kyurem, but because Kyurem was so useful in... It has pressure and it can metronome through my opponent's team and just click Ice Beam, especially with T-Spike up. I didn't want to go Kyurem, so I actually opted to sack my Dro here to the Z-Fly. I also knew that my Lottie, my Combine Lottie with Ice Beam T-Bolt could help me out a lot, and I wanted to keep my Scarf Gren for a little bit of, for potentially Spike for his own Greninja, which is the difference between Latias's T-Bolt knocking him out unboosted or not. But goes for Z-Fly, it's going to destroy my Excadrill. Again, I could have made a more aggressive play and went hard into Kyurem right there. As I'm going to bring on my Lottie, I'm going to double out into Gliscor. I kind of anticipated him to go Heatran, and I wanted to get some offensive momentum. And I go for Swords Dance because he already uses Fly on Landorus. So I end up going for Swords Dance as he brings out Zard. Obviously, Zard Y. I'm going to bring out my Toxapex here. We're going to tank that incredibly well because we are Pex, as he is going to bring out his Heatran. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for Recover just because I need to be as close to full as possible. I'm pressured by Greninja. I'm pressured by Zard Y. And, you know, Solar Beam and... Though it wouldn't 2KO me, it's not worth giving it a roll for a crit. So it brings out Heatran. I'm going to go right back out into my Gliscor. Yes, Sun is up, so his Magma Storm is going to do a ton more. Now right here, instead of roosting, because if I do, and he hits another Magma Storm, it won't. I don't think it actually will knock me out. 50... Yeah, actually, it has a chance to knock me out with the trapping, swirling Magma still touching my Gliscor. So I actually have to go right for the immediate Earthquake here, and it gives me Heatran. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. For my, that was absolutely incredible for my Combine Lottie. So it brings out Landorus. The best thing you could do is Swords Dance up and fly me. So I actually go directly out into my Mega Latias. Gonna Mega Evolve here and just throw off an Ice Beam. Would have obviously been able to deal with Lando as he is gonna bring out Ferrothorn. And I don't really pivot too well into Ferro. Like Gliscor can come in and get like Leash Seeded. So I have to go Pex first because I can potentially get up another layer. Which would be really nice for my Kyurem. Basically just beating down Greninja. Makes it a little bit easier as Fini is going to come out. And again, I wasn't sure what type of Fini this was. I was thinking he might defog, Nature's Madness, whatever. So I have to bring out my Gliscor as he ends up being a tricking variant, which is really cool. This is a speed control. But I know that I can go for Facade and 2 KO him. So I have to go for that, especially because he only has one switch in, which is his Gren. And I'm going to bring out my Pex here as he's going to bring out Lando. Now, I have a few options. I could go for a T-Spike there to help me out versus Greninja, or I can just go hard Lottie as I opt to go hard Lottie. Reveals that he is actually Rocks Lando, not Rocks Heat Ren, and we're going to throw off an Ice Beam, which is smart. Like, him going for Rocks is really smart, pressuring my Toxapex. But yeah, he brings out Pharaoh. Once again, I'm going to bring out my Pex because I do need that T-Spike. That's going to help out my Kyurem. That's going to help out my Latias beat this guy. So, opt to throw up that T-Spike as he's going to knock me off, which is pretty important. Very important, actually, that he knocked me off. Very nice for his Greninja and his Zard. I throw off a Scald and get a burn immediately, which is going to really help me out, too, because that means that Sub Kyurem can do some work. And what I decide to do is go hard into my Greninja right now. Because I can bluff the HP Fire, though I'm assuming he knows I'm Scarf just based on my build. But more so, I can go for a Spike, and a Spike is very important because first off, he's definitely not gonna defog when he got up all these layers, right? A Spike is very important because it allows Greninja to go down to Thunderbolt plus Poison 100%, right? I have a chance with that Spike to always knock out Gren, but I go right back out into my Gliscor here because I don't want to go out into my my Pex and be I don't want to go out to my Pex and be tricked the Toxic Orb back and give him nothing, but I rather try and get my Gliscor in because this could still help me out. So I get that play right? I get in my Gliscor, and right here I'm gonna go out to my Greninja because I'm scouting for Ice Beam too. I was worried about like random Ice Beam from my opponent because Scarf Tapu Fini, Trick, Defog, Moonblast. Last move doesn't always have to be Scald. It could be Ice Beam. Because I've seen that on the ladder. So I was worried about that. Also him like being faster than me because he was Choice Scarf. So I ended up going out to my Greninja as he just Moonblast. I guess in hindsight this was fine either way because I can bring out my Lottie right now and Thunderbolt. And what I'm doing is wasting his turns. I don't know if Calm Minding there was the better play, because I would still be forced out by Feral Thorn, but maybe it would have been. As he goes Lando on the pivot, I mean, this is like the I'm gonna double out into Greninja scream of my life. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll go for Thunderbolt here. This has a chance to knock out Greninja with Spike. It's like a 50-50 chance to knock out Greninja with the Spike. I don't get the roll, which is whatever. And now right here I have a decision. So he dies to one Skull from Pex, right? So I have a decision. I could go directly in the Pex. I calced everything, right? I'll be at 100% because of Regenerator. And 2 Dark Pulses from Specs Greninja. The chance to 2-hit KO me at the HP I'm going to be at is 5.9%. So he needs 236 rolls basically after Spike and 2 Spikes and 1 Stealth Rock. So the chance is 5.9% to 2-hit KO me. However, of course, he could still flinch me. So I could also sack Gliscor here and give him his Battle Bond and then bring out my Toxapex and I can still get flinched. I can go Toxapex now and only 5.9% chance that he can 2-hit KO me. But of course that also couples in flinches and crits too. So like I feel like either way it has to come down to a flinch right now unless he gets the 5.9. So I'm not sure if this was the wrong play because again I calc that. I'd be 100. I take these 2. He needs 236, which is max rolls. 2 max rolls versus Toxapex. 5.9. I guess the first one 36, which is whatever. He literally needs 36 to knock me out. Gets the next 36 and 2-hit KOs me. So oof. I was thinking that because him even getting that chance wasn't really even in my head. It was more so, okay, I'm going to be flinched either way, right? So what I could have done here was gone Gliscor first and sacked it, right? Because Sub Kyurem could still devour his team. I could go Gliscor first and sack it and bring out Pex, and he would still need a flinch to beat me down. Of course, he would not switch because no defogging left, right? He would still need a flinch to beat me down. And I guess that's only the 20% chance, but that's it, right? He would need that 20% chance, and if he doesn't get it, I Scald and I knock out Greninja, meaning that my Calm Mind Lottie or my Sub Kyurem wins the game. But if I bring out Pex on the Dark Pulse, it's a 5.9% chance, but then again, I have to couple that with the fact that Dark Pulse can flinch me. So, and also the 4% chance he can crit. So I guess that I think sacking Gliscor was the better play in terms of odds, right? Because he gets his Battle Bond. He has to flinch my Toxapex. Right here, he had to get a 5.9, but he can still flinch me in turn of it. So I think maybe sacking Gliscor would have been the better play here. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, on that. But either way, he gets the 5.9, and unfortunately, Like I calced it. I was like, okay, this is fine. Unfortunately, Battle Bond Gren is just able to sweep me now, because of that. So I think it still would have came down to my Toxapex being flinched. I think in terms of Tapu Fini, what I should have done was just stayed in with Gliscor. I should have just stayed in with Gliscor on it, and then forced out the Greninja to come in and go for like Hydro Pump or something on my Gliscor. But yeah, unfortunately, because of that 5.9% chance, I'm gonna be 2 KO'd. So I lose game one. It's a best of 3 though. So unfortunately, lose game one. I was sad about that too because I was calculating everything. I was like, okay, cool. He can't 2 KO me. Well, 5%, but then he still has to take into account. This mon is. I should have used this mon. Anyway, game 2 right here. Now, did not like this matchup looking into it. I have Zard Y plus Heatran, so Magnum Storming Mew might be nice, but I know it's like Earth Power Mew, standard discharging Zapdos with Defog, Unaware, Clef, regular Chansey, Alamolo with Wish Support, right? So, my team is SD Colaberry Bulu, Zard Y with no Solar Beam, just like Defog Focus Blast, Scarf Kartana, which is terrible in this game. I think this is Z-Dig Greninja, Leftovers Magma Storm Heatran, and Toxic Defog Gliscor. So this is very tough because I don't think I have any breakers here. But yeah, going into it, my opponent just has to like... I'll be real with you guys. I lost this game. I lost this game because right here I guess he knew the team because like if he gave me Dark Pulse on Mew, that would have made a huge difference. Like turn 1, I switch out into Greninja. I'm not gonna go Heatran because I know this thing runs Earth Power, and I can bluff the Specs Dark Pulse, but he opts to stay in and go for Will-O-Wisp there. So maybe, you know, obviously had I been Battle Bond Specs, that would have been really nice. Would have gotten like 70% off on Mew. But I go for a Spike here. I go for Ice Beam too, because I kind of have to go for the freeze. Like I don't really break through his team, like I said. We're going to bring out Zard, and I'm going to double out into my Gliscor because this gives me the free Toxic Orb. He's not going to stay in on Zard. Goes Aloe, which is fair because Aloe can obviously Toxic. Zard, no matter what variation it is, if it's Zard Y, he can go Chansey. If it's Zard X, he can Toxic it. And then Clefable plus Aloe can wall it. Even Aggron can take a hit. So it goes for Liquidation here. I didn't know it ran Liquidation. I thought it just ran Scald, but that's cool. That's better for Spadef Tran. Yeah, he's going to bring out his Chansey. I'm going to go for Toxic and then bring out my Heatran because I do have the Magma Storm. But because Mew is faster than my Heatran, and Magma Storm like does not 2-hit KO Mew, even if Sun is up, right, I can't 2-hit KO it, and my Kartana can't break through his team. We'll skip ahead, but it's basically me just fighting until I decide to give up. He gets a para on my Bulu, which is actually pretty nice because it means I can't be poisoned by this. And I do have Stone Edge for Zapdos as well. Hindsight, Horn Leech was the better play here because Zapdos I wouldn't knock out Zapdos anyway, and Horn Leech recovers enough with what's it called? Horn Leech recovers enough with Grassy Terrain to do enough to Zapdos to like where it can't roost. So maybe catching Aggron would have been decent. I don't think I would have knocked out Aggron, but obviously getting off damage would have been nice. I go here right here, and I try to bluff like right here because I feel like I have to go off a lot of bluffs, right? So if I Magma Storm the Aggron, and I'm like Z Giga Impact Kartana, I can sweep him. So I go for Rocks here because I don't care much about Rocks versus me, seeing as while I do have a Zard, I can literally roost on the Mew, which cannot touch me. So I go for Rock here because I need to try and pressure him with some doubles from Zard as well. And he goes for Earthquake and Grassy Terrain. And yeah, it's basically GG. I'm never going to trap something with his Heatran, even in the sun. Mew can always beat me with Earth Power and Roost. I don't have Z on it. Missed Magma Storm on top of that. Doesn't really matter at all. I bring out Zard. Focus Blast. Go for a Focus Blast crit, because if I Focus Blast crit the Chansey, there is a chance. Not really. But there's kind of a chance. Because I guess Toxic Gliscor can kind of rest. But I don't get the crit. And at this point, I end up just forfeiting. But yeah. Game 2, don't think I could have done anything, like, legitimately. I didn't have a breaker to actually go through his team. Kartana was Scarf. My Charizard lacked Solar Beam. My Gren was Z-Dig, which was terrible in this game. And if my Heatran was Z, maybe. maybe. And my Gliscor was SD, maybe. Like if I brought the same team as last game, it probably would have been possible because this team could definitely break through this, which is Gliscor, PP stalling, Toxapex, PP stalling. But yeah, I unfortunately am out round 2 of the official Smogon Tour. Again, only thing I think I could have done differently in game 1 was maybe go hard Kyurem on the Lando early, but that was of course risking Kyurem. And I think sacking Gliscor and getting into Pex, but he would still need to flinch me, which is still 20%. On top of critting me would knock me out, but it's still, I think it's still less chances than going hard Pex, even if he only needs 5. And I calced it without Black Sludge. Hold up, let me make sure I calced it without Black Sludge, because then I'll be mad at myself if I didn't. I'm pretty sure I calced it without Black Sludge. Toxapex. No, it was 248. Change the spread. It was 248. No Black Sludge. Greninja. People run this? Oh yeah, this is gunk. This is low kick. I was like, physically based, what? But it's low kick, duh. Alright, give him his choice space, give him Dark Pulse. The max he can do is 36. So I put 2 spikes in Stealth Rock and +1, 5.9% chance to 2 KO after Stealth Rock and 2 layers. But you gotta couple that in with the fact that he could. Oh yeah, I didn't. So I counted right. I gotta couple that in with the fact that he could flinch me. So either one resulted in flinching, but I guess going Gliscor gave me the better chance because I was guaranteed to at least take one outside of crit. So that was my bad. Though, I mean, either way, it would still have been a chance, though in my favor. But thank you for watching. Sorry I couldn't make it farther in OST. I don't think game 2 I could have done anything. Like, even with Sun plus Heatran's Magma Storm, I wasn't breaking through this Mew. If I was Z on Heatran, yes, I was breaking through this Mew. But I don't think I could have done anything differently in that game. I had to bluff, like, that I'm Z, Cart, and him switching out his Aggron as I get up rocks, and then forcing defrogs from him, and then late in the late game doing something. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys. Well played to Shoka. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, friends.